Hello, I'm Senator Camera Bartolotta representing the 46th District, and it is July 4th time. I wanted to show you just a few quick little tips of some super easy recipes that can feed a crowd or your family. So one of the things that I love is a trick for corn on the cob. And once I used this trick, I actually became designated the corn cob person to bring to every family picnic. So you take a nice big sharp knife and you find the end of the corn right about there, and you cut it off, and then you can cut off the tip because that's skinny little stuff you don't want to eat. Then you can slice down the middle here and then peel it apart. Makes a lot less mess. And just be sure you get all that silk out of there. I don't use a brush or anything, but just usually when you rinse it off, it all falls off anyway. Okay, so there you go. And sometimes if you even use a little bit of the husk to help strip that off, helps a little bit. And easy peasy. And I have a very easy way to cook your corn on the cob. Now, I don't care how many ears of corn you're making, how big your party is, this works with any number of corn on the cob. Okay, we got maybe 10, 14 here, I think. They're all cleaned and husked, okay? And then you have a large pot of boiling water. Okay, here we go. You get a workout. Oh. Okay, carefully take your pot of boiling water. You get a wonderful facial this way too, it's great. Okay, you pour enough water in there that covers the corn. See, they're floating a little bit. Perfect amount. And all you do is you put the lid on and you're done. You wait 15 minutes. Every ear of corn is perfectly cooked. And by the way, as long as you keep the lid on there between people getting corn out, it will stay hot all day long. For 4th of July picnics or any kind of a summer picnic, some people really like to do some old-fashioned grandma recipes, and I found one that my grandma used to make, and I kind of had to do a little hunting, but it's so easy that it only has a handful of ingredients. It's all mixed in one bowl, but honestly, when people try it, they think it's a food group. It's amazing, and you will love it. I'm sure you have heard of Hashbrown Casserole. Hashbrown Casserole only has a few little ingredients, and you know what? Throw the diet out. It's the 4th of July. A 2-pound bag of hash brown potatoes. You can have them either shredded like this, or you can have them in the cubes, but this actually seems to work better. Everything sort of blends nicely with that. A can of cream of chicken soup. Okay, put it all in there. 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. If you're gonna get an arm workout mixing all this stuff together, but it's okay. Then 8 ounces, this is half of once, 8 ounces of sour cream, okay? I just got our local Giant Eagle brand because that's our go-to store around here. So sour cream goes in there. Then we're going to put a whole cup of butter. However, you're gonna divide it, all right? So 1 stick of butter is a half a cup. I'm gonna melt it down. Ooh, that's nice and piping hot. Nothing wrong with melted butter. Yummy. Okay, we'll slice the onion down. Also about half a cup of onion. Good way to dice your onions. Tuck your fingers, always. So you can still count to 10 after you're done cooking. Here you go. Toss that in there. And then just as much fresh ground black pepper as you like. And we're gonna put a little bit of salt in there, not a ton. And this is pink Himalayan sea salt. You can do whatever you want, any kind of salt you want. That just has a nice little flavor to it. And that's it, you just stir the heck out of it. All right. So you just mix it. And then we add half of our butter, half the butter, because the other half of it is gonna be for the topping, all right? So get that all in there. Woo! Okay, just gotta really make sure it's well mixed. You don't want big lumps of pepper or real big lumps of onion or anything in there. You want the cheese well distributed, sour cream, all that good stuff. And then you get a 9 by 13 pan. This one's a little bigger, so it's gonna cook a little quicker. 9 by 13 pan. You don't have to grease it, but I kind of want to, just in case. I don't like surprises. There might be a little surprise. It's a little nonstick coating on there. And you just pop it in. It's always a #1 favorite at any kind of a potluck, a church dinner, a picnic, whatever, because you know it tastes great hot or room temperature. So the fun part is at the end, when you have all that casserole all smashed in there, you go for your cornflakes. Now, if you don't have cornflakes at home, you can use buttery crackers, Ritz crackers, whatever. I know some people have even used potato chips. I'm not crazy with that. You just eyeball it. You know, baking is when you measure. Cooking is when you have fun. Okay, now this is where you use the reserved butter, okay? I think I probably reserved a little too much butter, but that's okay. Just like that. Make sure they're all buttery. And then you just sprinkle it on the top. It's a nice contrast to the creamy, ooey gooey casserole. Nice little bit of crunch. All right, that is it. And you put it in a 350-degree oven for about an hour until it's all hot and bubbly and melted and yummy and crunchy on the top. Okay. All right. You see how bubbly it is? See the corners are all bubbly and wonderful, and this is all nice and golden. Perfect. Okay, this is going to be a cucumber Caprese salad. So Caprese means it's a mozzarella tomato. Now, I don't know, I've read this before. Now these cucumbers have a really thick skin on them. So somewhere there's been a wives' tale that says, if you run a fork over the skin, it like releases the bitterness. I have no clue if that's a thing or not, because then they say to peel them, but I don't like peeling my cucumbers entirely. This makes a nice little design on them anyhow. These are sort of thick, so we're gonna cut them down the middle. And again, we're gonna quarter these babies. These are pretty large. We don't want that much skin on them. Just a little bit, just to leave a little bit. Looks nice. It's a little flavorful, gives them a little bit of body there. All right, so we're just going to chop them up, kind of like bite-sized pieces. Try to make them even-ish. Again, not science. Okay, put these things in a nice big decorative bowl. Good to go. See how putting the fork through it makes it a little, kind of pushes the color down into the cucumber a little tiny bit. Just gives it a little something. Makes it a little different. So this you do have to slice kind of thin. I might even slice those in half because that's a lot of onion to bite into. Yeah, I think I'll probably chop them up a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty big. That'll do it. Okay. This time of year, everybody's garden is full of cucumbers. And they are best eaten right out of the garden. So I'm sure if you contacted a neighbor who has a garden, they would be thrilled to give you some cucumbers. Kind of fine dice, because really what you're looking for is just a little bit of that flavor. You can even wait till the end if you want to sprinkle that on the top. Fresh little baby mozzarella, and I'm going to slice those in half so it goes a little bit further. Okay, that looks great. Now we're going to put a little bit of dry oregano. I'm not keen on that, but you know what? It is a salad, so herbs might get a little bit mushy in there and get a little too flavorful. So we're just going to do a little bit of oregano, just a little bit, and then a little bit of dry basil. If you want fresh basil, that'd be fabulous. This recipe online just happened to call for some dry basil. I think it sticks to the mozzarella balls a little better than fresh would. And then we're going to do, hope it pours out, yep. Use some olive oil. Use a really nice extra virgin olive oil whenever you're cooking with anything, because the flavor of the olive oil really enhances your food. Don't go cheap. So after your olive oil is in there, I'm going to stir it around a little tiny bit, because what that does is it coats everything a little bit with the olive oil so that your vinegar doesn't just really blast anybody. Okay, so toss around the olive oil a little bit, get things coated a little, and then just go easy on balsamic. And if you've got people who don't like the taste of balsamic, use whatever, champagne vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever. Just anything that's got a nice flavor to it. All right, and that is it. All right, well, it's burger time, and the grilling chef here today is my son Dante.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes, and he's done all kinds of awesome things on the grill, but today we're just going to do regular fresh burgers and some dogs.
Yes, so these are already pre-seasoned, just some salt, just some pepper. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a little divot in there, and what this divot does is it allows your burgers to remain flat, so you don't get those domed burgers that kind of look almost like flying saucers.
So as this cooks, it like closes up the little divot a little bit.
Right, it's just a tension area.
There you go.
Just relieves it across the rest of the burger.
Well, that was a little too much tension. I apologize. There we go. All right.
All right, are we ready?
We're ready to rock.
Let's do it. All right.
Right. You always want to hear your food sizzle.
Yes.
That way you know that the grill is hot enough. You do a whole lot of grilling at home, right, Dante?
I do a lot of smoking, actually. So for my 4th of July, I'm actually going to be smoking a brisket.
Yum.
Brisket, smoked mac and cheese, some ribs, and some hamburgers myself.
Lovely.
There we go.
So you're putting them on that grill sideways to get a few little nice grill marks on there.
Right. You, if you put them on vertically like that, then they just get two, and it looks a little wonky. You kind of want to make it look almost like the package.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
There we go. And we'll close this up, contain this heat, and we'll check on them in a little bit.
So how soon do you check on them, Dante?
I try and let them do their own thing, but about 5 minutes each side I tend to go with. And then I'll take a temperature probe and I'll make sure that they're at a safe temperature internally before eating. Yeah, so we got nice lines on these. Some of these might be a little overcooked. That's all right. Well, if they're a little looking like they're done, we're going to move them to the top rack. Make sure. It's been about 5 minutes on these. I'm going to flip them over, make sure that they get cooked on each side. You can see as they start to swell up a little bit, they're starting to reach a good internal temperature. That flame broiled look. Excellent. All right, now we'll just give it a little more time. And in about 5 more minutes, we're going to check the internal temperature and make sure that they're done. That's it. Okay.
Ooh,
So
pretty.
finally got my plate.
Those look beautiful.
Take them off there. Some of them are a little overdone, but
Some people I know love them burnt.
I'm one of them.
Okay.
So just a little extra color on them. Hey, at least you know they're safe to eat.
Those look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, you want some of these buns?
Yes, please. And for these buns, what we're going to do is we're going to put some of this melted butter I have on them. And what that'll do is, oh, wow, that's a lot.
Well, here, just take some of the...
Yeah.
All right, here's your basting brush.
Wonderful.
No.
So we're going to baste them with some butter, some nice melted butter here. And that's going to make these really nice and golden brown.
A little crunchy crunch.
A little nice crunch to them. You can never go wrong with a little bit of butter.
All right.
Actually, no, I got to put the cheese on them
All
first.
right, let's do the cheese. You can put any kind of cheese on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Some people like theirs with American, some like Swiss, some like cheddar. I'm a cheddar guy myself.
All right.
All
Here's
right.
the beautiness. All right, guys, have a fantastic and safe 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, and I hope you enjoy your friends and your family and a wonderful picnic. We got the whole crew here, and things are always better with friends. Happy 4th.